In this video, we are going to ask the question, are there subcategories that are unprofitable? Let's start by inserting a new worksheet. We're going to call this one Subcategory Profitability. And then we're going to build a basic horizontal bar chart with category on rows, expand out to the subcategory level of the hierarchy, and put sales on columns. And let's also sort the chart in descending order by sales. So one way that we could accomplish this would be by putting profit over on color. And this will give us a gradient that shows us what our profitable and unprofitable categories are. And we could answer our question with this type of visualization, but that's not how we're going to do it. Instead, we're going to create a calculated field. So I'm going to hit back. That's going to take advantage of some logical operators to do an overall test. Instead of giving us that gradient of the values, it's going to perform a logical test, just yes or no, is this subcategory as a whole profitable? And then once we've got that calculated field created, we'll put it on color. So let's click on the drop down in the upper right hand corner of the data pane. Select the option for create calculated field. Bring up the window, and we are going to call this one profitable, question mark. And we're going to write a basic if statement, just saying if the sum of profit, and we want to use our sum function here because we want the test to be performed at the aggregate level, not the row level. So if the sum of profit is greater than 0, then we want to generate a text string saying profitable, else we want to generate a text string reading unprofitable, and then end the if statement. I use the return key to break the formula up over multiple lines. I do that for organization and neatness purposes. It is not necessary to format it in this way in order for the calculation to be valid. You could write it all on one line and it would execute just the same. Let's click on OK. And now our profitable calculated field will appear in our measures. Notice that the data type is text because we told it that the results are text strings. It's still treated as a measure though because there is an aggregate function built into the formula. So let's take this, drag it up to color, and now we can very quickly see that our 3 unprofitable categories are tables, bookcases, and supplies. Something else I will point out to you, if you look at the instance of our calculated field that's on color, you'll notice that it's wrapped in a function that we haven't seen before, AGG. That stands for aggregate, and when you see the ag function being applied to a measure, that tells you that the measure is a calculated field that is using an aggregate function within the body of the formula. There are a couple more things that I want to do to complete this view. One of them is just a formatting. I want to expand the width of the subcategory column in the view so that the header is not cut off. The last thing that I want to do is drag an instance of our profit ratio calculated field onto tooltip so that when we hover over any of these tooltip, we have the ability to see the profit ratio. When we use that to hover over our marks, we can get a sense of exactly how profitable or unprofitable each one of the marks in our view were. And it turns out that the bookcases and supplies subcategories weren't profitable, but they weren't excessively unprofitable. Tables, despite being one of the subcategories with the highest amount of sales, is the least profitable with a profit ratio of negative 8.56%. It doesn't seem like any of these numbers are so badly off that we should be considering dropping these subcategories, but it's definitely worth taking a deeper dive into individual products to see if performance is poor across the board or if there's some individual products that are actually causing these problems. And that's where we'll wrap up for this video.